Good morning, students. In the lecture of biology today, we are going to continue with our study of viruses. Okay. Now, these viruses are much talked of entities now. When all around us there is the talk of the coronavirus, the COVID-19 virus responsible for, in fact, this is one of the virus belonging to the group of viruses called coronaviruses, which is now responsible for causing the severe acute respiratory syndrome, which we are specifying or naming as corona. Now, today we are going to see in this unit viruses, what actually the viruses are, what are their characteristic features, how do these viruses affect human life, that is their pathogenic characteristic which is responsible for causing many diseases in human beings. Okay, so let us begin with the study of our viruses. Now, today's knowledge about viruses is because of the efforts that were taken, study that was done on the viruses by different scientists. Scientists like Frederick William Todd, scientists like Felix D. Harold, W.M. Stanley, Hershey and Chase. Because of the work of all these scientists, it is now much knowledge we have gained about the viruses. So, we will just list down the scientists who were responsible or who have carried out vigorous, immense study on viruses. So, scientists whose efforts has made it possible for us to get knowledge of viruses are, we are listing some of them. These scientists are Frederick William Todd, W.M. Stanley, Hershey and Chase, then Schlesinger, etc. So it's a big list of scientists who made it possible for us to get the knowledge of viruses. We have listed some of these scientists. Now let us go for the important part in this unit, that is characteristic features of viruses. So characteristics of viruses. Now what are the characteristics of viruses? Viruses are acellular entities. That means these are not having cellular organization like the living forms have. Their bodies are not made up of cells. These are acellular entities. These are ultra microscopic. That means these can be seen and studied only under the electron microscope and can be observed observed only under high magnifying electron microscope. So you can observe them only under high magnifying electron microscope. We cannot see them under our compound microscope. Okay. If you go for their size ranges from 10 nanometers to 2000 nanometers. The larger virus has size equal to the smaller bacteria. That means these are much smaller even than the bacteria, which themselves are microscopic. Okay, viruses infect the bacterial cells also. On one bacterial cell there can be thousands of viruses lodging. Okay, so small are these viruses. Now, these viruses do not grow. Or eat food. So, viruses don't grow like other living organisms, nor do they eat food like other living organisms. So viruses do not grow, viruses do not eat food, or viruses do not respire. So neither they will be respiring, nor they will be eating food, nor these are going to grow. Okay, so these properties or these characteristics show that viruses are non-living, right? Because for a living organism, they have to grow, they have to eat food, they have to respire, but viruses do none of these. Okay? These viruses are obligate parasite. Obligate parasites. Parasites are organisms which will be living on the bodies or inside the bodies of other living organisms and harming them. Such entities are called as parasites. Obligate parasites means total parasitism. So viruses are obligate parasites and can multiply only within the living host cell. Okay? Outside the host body, viruses are in crystalline form. Okay, what do you mean by this? Viruses are obligate parasites, total parasites. Viruses will be growing, having the living characteristic feature of multiplying only when these are in the host cell. That means to say I am infected by influenza virus. Influenza means common flu. So if I get infected by influenza virus, this influenza virus will enter into my cell. It will use my cell machinery and multiply its genetic material. And one virus is entering into my cell will multiply to become thousands of viruses. Okay, but it can do that only when it is in my cell, and after it has multiplied, it will just come out of my body. If it is the influenza virus, maybe when I am speaking, sneezing or spitting, this virus will be airborne and the other healthy person will take in that virus. Okay, and so there is a need of isolation when a person suffers from viral disease, because these viruses are easily transmitted from a diseased person to healthy person. Okay, if they don't find any host cell, then these viruses remain for years and years together. These viruses remain for years and years together in crystalline form, in the form of crystals, non-living entities. Okay, just like you have sugar crystals, just like you have salt crystals, these viruses will be in crystalline form. So, viruses can be controlled only by preventive measures. Elimination of viruses becomes very, very difficult. Okay, just to give you the information, there was in fact I have read in a newspaper that regarding the viruses that are under the ice caps, where at our poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. But because of this global warming, the ice there is melting, and with the melting of ice, these viruses in the crystalline form, which were under the ice caps, under the ice covers, okay, now are getting exposed. And these viruses, the scientists, there was a write-up which I have read. It was published in the newspapers in March, probably March 2019 or so, that these viruses which are now exposed will be attacking the human community as well as the other living organisms, and they have termed these as zombies. What are these viruses called as? Zombies. Okay. So, viruses, why are they so dangerous? Because outside the living cell, these will be in crystalline form. Inside the living cell, they will use our machinery. Virus will use my machinery, my DNA, my DNA. If it is a plant virus, it will use the plant cell's RNA, the genetic material, and divide and redivide to form thousands of viruses. Okay, so they use our raw material, they use our cell machinery as the factory to manufacture their forms, okay, and get multiplied and become thousands and thousands in number, ready to infect the other organisms. So viruses are obligate parasites and can multiply within the living cell only. Outside the living cell, these viruses are in the crystalline form. Now, if we go for the study of structure of these viruses, then these viruses will show very simple structure. So, viruses have very simple structure. Okay, their structure is very simple. Now, what does their body structure comprise of? They consist of, it consists of a nucleic acid coat. Now this nucleic acid will be ribose nucleic acid or deoxyribose nucleic acid. It will be RNA or DNA and a protein coat. There will be a coat of protein around this nucleic acid coat. So the viruses are made up of just a nucleic acid surrounded by a protein coat. So their organization is very simple. Okay? Depending upon the nucleic acid, viruses are classified into two types. What are these two types? These two types are, viruses can be RNA virus or it can be a DNA virus. If it has RNA as the nucleic acid, ribose nucleic acid, then it is the RNA virus. If it has the deoxyribose nucleic acid as the nucleic acid material, then it will be the DNA virus. Okay. Now viruses are, the next important point is that viruses are host specific. इसका मतलब one type of virus, if it is infecting a particular organism, it will not infect the other organism. If a virus is a plant virus, you will not find it infecting the animals. If it is an animal virus, you will not find it infecting the plants. In animal viruses, if it is the virus infecting human beings, then it may not be found to be infecting other great animals. So, it is very specific as regards to host. Accordingly, viruses are 1. Plant viruses. So when we say plant viruses, what do we mean by it? Plant viruses are the viruses which attack and infect plants. These are the viruses which infect plants. So they are going to cause many diseases in plants. So these are plant viruses. These plant viruses are, these have single-stranded RNA or double-stranded RNA as genetic material. So their genetic material, the nucleic acid that is present in them will be RNA, ribose nucleic acid, which can be single-stranded or which can be double-stranded. The second type of viruses are the plant viruses, animal viruses. Now these animal viruses are viruses which infect animals. Okay, so these are the viruses which are going to cause diseases in animals. These are DNA viruses or RNA viruses. That means they can have deoxyribose nucleic acid or they can have ribose nucleic acid. And the third type is the bacterial viruses, or these are called as the bacteriophages. And what are these going to do? These infect bacteria.